Thank you so much for coming. So today I'm going to be talking about the future of blockchain. Future of blockchain. So interconnectivity, that's really the topic of conversation. And it's something that's been talked about a lot because of problems of scalability in blockchain. So before I begin, let me very quickly introduce you to Achain. I think we have quite a large contingent from China here. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with Achain. We're based in China, based in Beijing, founded around the same time as Ethereum, actually, in 2015. So we've been around for quite a long time. We've won multiple prizes. And so what makes us special is our technology. You know, there are lots of projects out there which invest a hell of a lot of money, raise a hell of a lot of money, and then spend it on marketing. You know, and then tech comes at a later stage. We've taken the opposite approach. We spent the last year and a half, last 2 years focusing solely on the technology, being ahead of the game, being innovative, offering something new. So we developed our own consensus mechanism, which we call RDPoS. So I'm sure you know about Bitcoin being POW, proof of work. Ethereum is also proof of work, moving towards proof of stake, POS. Many altcoins skipped that stage and went straight to a delegated proof of stake. Well, we like delegated proof of stake, but there are some limitations to it. So we adapted delegated proof of stake to make it result-driven. The R is result. So we have a result-driven delegated proof of stake, which basically allows us to keep a very high level of security and increase the speed. So we've achieved a 1000 TPS. Okay, we've actually been around for about a year in ICO terms. We did our ICO last year. We raised 3,000 Bitcoins. I believe that was July the 21st. So in a few days, it'll be exactly a year. And as I mentioned, we are from China. I'm not from China. 其实我常驻北京. But we're expanding worldwide. That is the little introduction to Achain. Let's get on to the topic at hand then. So, blockchain. How long has blockchain been around for? Anyone know? So I like to make these interactive. Anyone know when did Bitcoin come out? Yeah, so I think it was like, 9 years ago, right? Maybe 10 years ago now. I don't even know. Anyway, that was the first blockchain. Bitcoin, the worldwide cryptocurrency, a way to move money from person to person across borders, very low fee, very quick. And that was revolutionary, obviously. You're here because of that. And then Ethereum came out a few years ago and really changed the field, revolutionized things by introducing this concept of smart contracts. And look at the changes we've seen in the last year with ICOs, with various ways of fundraising, with everyone in every industry using blockchain technology. So if Bitcoin was 1.0, Ethereum was 2.0, what's 3.0? What's the future of blockchain? I'm not arrogant enough to say Achain is the future, but it's a good question. What really is the future of blockchain? We're at a point now where there's very little real innovation. Nothing revolutionary is happening. What is the next step? I think many people have a vision of what the next step is. I'm going to outline Achains. So, if you go on to CoinMarketCap right now, you'll see 1,640 different cryptocurrencies or tokens, whatever you want to call them, out there. Many of these claim to be the be-all and end-all of blockchain. They claim to be the solution to everything in blockchain. That's very interesting, but not really possible. The UN defines 63 industries in the world. Of these 63 industries, there are 147 sub-industries. We've done a research, and we found that there's someone in every single sub-industry who wants to use blockchain. Everyone wants to use blockchain. People in e-commerce, people in insurance, people in gaming. I think there's some gaming company people here today. So there's people in a whole number of industries, in fact, every industry, who wants to use blockchain. Well, every industry is very different. The needs of every industry are very different. The needs in the insurance industry is very different to the needs in the gaming industry. For gaming, speed is very important. Security is important, but maybe not as important. For finance, it's the opposite. You think of PayPal. PayPal is used at any one point in the world by, I don't know how many people, but it has a very low TPS. It has a TPS only in the hundreds. Well, the question is, with all these different needs in every industry, how do we meet them through one platform? Right now, Ethereum is king of blockchain. Ethereum has many problems with meeting the needs of different industries. How many people here have heard of CryptoKitties? Yeah, we've got some hands here. Yeah, well, CryptoKitties is a very good example. A very nice game. It's a game where people are buying and selling virtual cats. And they were spending up to, I think, $100,000 on these cats. The problem was, it shut down the entire Ethereum network for a period of time. So I think it was about 1 or 2 days where you couldn't even trade Ethereum. So this really introduced the problem of scalability. So if a game can shut down the biggest network, can shut down every single app in this network, insurance, finance, microcredit, all sorts of applications, then what is the future of blockchain? So this really introduced the problem of scalability in blockchain. What is Achain's solution to this? Well, this gentleman over here, we take a leaf out of his book. With the theory of evolution, you have adaptation of a species to an environment. Why not apply that to blockchain? Why not let blockchain adapt to its environment? As I mentioned, you have insurance, gaming, microcredit, all sorts of different industries. Why not adapt the blockchain to each of those industries to meet those industries' needs? So, just as for the speciation, a species adapts to its environment. Those which adapt live on, those which don't die out. The same applies with blockchain. And we use this technology. We use hard forking. Hard forking. So, I'm sure you've all heard of Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is a hard fork of Bitcoin. Why did Bitcoin Cash fork off of Bitcoin? Well, there was a dispute within the community about the block size and whatnot. Often, hard forking is associated with has a negative connotation, dispute within the community. Well, we take this so-called negative thing and apply it in a positive sense. We apply it to achieve scalability and specialization. So I won't go into the details of all of this because there are time constraints. I've got a booth just over there and I can talk about all the details with you, but very briefly, I'll describe how this works. So in Achain, you have your main chain, and this is the all-purpose main chain. What we do is we hard fork into subchains. So you can think of an insurance subchain. In this insurance subchain, the chain has been modified to meet the needs of the insurance industry. So security is obviously key. Same with finance. Security will be of utmost importance, so the chain will be modified to meet those needs. You can imagine another chain, a gaming subchain. With that, maybe you need a very high TPS, maybe a 100,000 TPS. TPS comes at the expense of security in many cases. Okay? Adapt the chain to meet those. What we have then is we have this main chain and several subchains with adaptations to that industry or sub-industry, and it's all part of one network. The question is, well, that's very nice, but aren't these separate? These are separate tokens, no? Well, what Achain is doing is connecting all of these into one network. A network we call the Value Exchange Protocol. So this is a 3-stage process. And what we're doing is we want to link, first of all, these chains to the main chain. This is something we're doing right now. Secondly, have some sort of value exchange between Achain and Ethereum and Bitcoin and various other chains. And then finally, to achieve sharing of data between these subchains. So for example, imagine a healthcare subchain, an insurance subchain. There's an app on the healthcare subchain, an app on the insurance subchain. Maybe the insurance subchain would like to use information on the healthcare subchain. This comes about through the exchange of information. This is something we're working towards. And this is our timeline. So right now, we've completed our first stage, which is where we created a smart sandbox. We allowed developers to create smart contracts to test them before they release them onto the network. We are now on the stage where we're using blockchain as a service, where we have a scalable network, where we are forking to meet the needs of different industries. And we are getting now towards the final stage, which will be at the end of this year, where we actually begin to create the interconnectivity between all of these subchains and blockchain platforms. Very finally, we have some of our dApps. So, large Chinese contingent here. So I'm sure you know of Beijing, which is a large social media application in China, because Telegram is kind of blocked in China. 被和解了. So that's a bit of a problem. So no, we have Kcash, which is a nice decentralized wallet, which is very famous as well. And we have something great here, Crypto Dogs, which is just like Crypto Kitties, where you can buy and sell animals. We use this to demonstrate our technology and its scalability. We have many, many more dApps. We have about 70, which are either under development or have been released already, which is more than Neo, which is more than Quantum. I'm afraid I'm out of time, but I would be more than happy to discuss these dApps as well as our technology with you in detail at our booth. Thank you so much.